94.7 Asempa FM Sony Ekosiisen dwumedie no wasoguso a wotie no ye na munyina asesan ema munyina akwaba bio mede ndi osaibo nso me kasai lawyer Andrew Ejapamesa ewa ha sansona lawyer Baba Jamal ewa ha mpanyefo mienu ni ene won edi enkomo enti before the break no messages be bring now but let me read 2 or 3 of them now for me my lawyer Mesa Emremo. We say good evening Obi. Listening to Baba Jamal, Rojo has adduced his evidence, so Miss Jean Mensah should do same. Kindly ask Baba to tell Ghanaians if Rojo has sent a petition to the Supreme Court that warrant Miss Jean Mensah to respond. I thought the NDC said that President Mahama has the right not to stand in the witness box for cross-examination. So why are they worried about the EC exercising her right not to also stand in the witness box? By the way, the petitioner who was not cross-examined on his petition said he had 5 witnesses, yet 3 testified. Has anyone forced them to make the other 2 testify? Grandpa Asti, Ewo Menchia South. And I think the last bit is very interesting. We say, so allow the Supreme Court to base on your petition, witness account, and your own evidence, judge the case. Obi, is that one to a problem? Why not celebrate if you think you have made yourselves proud by presenting a solid case relevant to the 5 issues set aside for judgment? Anyways, please extend my regards to Nenyi George Anda for his continuous support of scholarships and other developmental items he gave to his constituent in the Utu Senya West constituency this last weekend. Indeed, leadership goes beyond occupancy of position. Kweku Jesse, 1D1F, Adanse Asokwa, Somfo, and on the way up praying. Yes, Lawyer Mesa.
Obi, baby, I'm a catcher there. You know, NDC full, and you want to look grown or catcher there, sir. Ne yafoyo ne kofio sere yo enim sulia
yes
enim sulia ne dam padis no ke chende December election won no win ya and that EC chairperson onye his excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo we kunna no we election no odam Nana Akufo-Addo they put people on the street, demonstrations, and the Baba Jamal otna ho akere and the Supreme Court na wa akọ na ho na nkasa echi was we win election na sisi a was bia win no enye outcome no ohia wan or should truth from we won the election to nobody won the election to now truth. That's why they are before the court. I can want and say, Obi, my boss studio at least 3 times since this petition started. And I make comments not because I'm in the mere Supreme Court, minimum judges or what's not. I make comments based on their own petition. The responses I can. And now the benefit of the evidence are well adduced before the court. And can confidently say to you, Ndewa, Naganda forward saying, I have someone beyanda. One supporters away deceive one right from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th December through to 30th December. We file a petition till in there. Although we discipline one party leadership. These people have deceived their supporters. You lost the election
Asempa FM
by more than 500,000 votes. Polling station be our Ghana here. You had representatives there. Constituencies 275 our Ghana now you had representatives. 16 regions our Ghana now you had representatives there. You know the figures that were generated at every point in the election. Nankobanden and then there and there. Electoral Commission only power to give instructions.
On Asempa
I don't instruct Mr. Rojo Metal. No, a whole doctor, university done. The one court now when Mr. Mahama when can have a discussion, not borne out by any rule. Then there, what 10 or who they want the truth. What truth? They don't have a case. They've never had a case. This petition was dead on arrival. It's not going anywhere. Now, Obi here and the Payama. In fact, now a pork show based suicide one be.
Oh, okay.
Tasty Jack. We are bringing many more paddies be a cash on or yeah. Yep, incredible on your pork beer.
Yeah, me aha. Oh, the brutal.
Oh, Obi. And now, if I'm call online and make check what the status of the proceedings because we'll call break briefly.
Yeah.
Into yaba back no, and now, Justin we issue indication there. If I not Chachu, who was doing Akutampo. No, oh yeah.
Cross examination.
Yes, cross examination of
Rojo.
And so we know
Ekosiisen
now, Mr. Chachu sorry, also there will be no re-examination. Now, be said, can the witness be discharged and all can on now. Justin, sorry now, who make no submissions who were invoking order 36 rule 3 and 4. I'm so wow. And so quickly I went on my phone to pull up the
order
civil procedure rules no CI 47.
Yeah, and that's for the High Court.
Master stroke.
Honor.
Man make a control. Now expect
order ne cadence. Let me
in effect, all it is saying is that the defendant has a right to elect not to call witnesses when the plaintiff closes his case. That's all.
Right, no?
Right to elect not to call witnesses, and that's exactly what the first respondent
in a public interest matter.
Public interest, no, honor, then
this is an election petition,
which is to be conducted in accordance with the rules of court. Public interest matter no require the petitioner or they prove who case on the strength of it. Public interest here no can say him there we elect who petitioner do court and yin son do be engine do be engine da maybe angry no here on public interest. Why it is not in the public interest that the petitioner should not have wasted everybody's time by sending this weak petition to court. Mercy Obi, look at the denominator that they are asking the court to use as basis for recalculating the figures. Nkeni na yajalo. Nkeni na. That is the crux of the case. The so-called Obiya meet Article 63 threshold is the 13,434,574 figure, which is not a true reflection of the total aggregate of all the contestant votes. That's all. Yet they're asking the Supreme Court to use that figure because on the electoral commissioner can. Now the me ask me that. Obi, missing Kenny now on is just to confuse everybody. Indeed, if you want to cast one petition, now the release that they are claiming, it's clear. The unconstitutionality of the declaration based on this denominator. In the petition, what consumer? It's not because anybody has a crystal ball to read the judge's decision. We can make logical, reasonable inferences for what is before us. But yeah, you can even predict one narrative. Ochina says Supreme Court or follow settled law. Now, a rule there, the respondents have a right to elect. Indeed, Mr. Chekata Sampo is not contesting the right of the respondents that will be elect not to call witnesses. More can there, by reason of the fact there, one file a written witness statement. Into that right has been waived. Another, the time has passed. But Obi, when is evidence properly so called laid before court?
When it is tendered.
Thank you very much.
Through a witness.
Thank you very much. Respondents, what the documents be through any witness?
No.
And Baba Jamal is telling us that because it is part of the records, when a judge who has read all the record for clarity, Obisa question on one of the exhibits before the court as part of the record, but has not been taken in evidence. That then means that by necessary implication, that document ought to be admitted, or that the witness ought to be compelled to go to the box to tender that document so that the court can use it or what.
And so once a court,
But it was used for a specific purpose. Any document can be tendered through the witness. What are we talking about? Obi. In fact, the court, Somotu, could have picked the document from anywhere and asked questions on them. Now, any judicial notice principle. The fact of Form 13 is not a notorious fact that it exists. That the Electoral Commission, that was the document based on which it made declarations, didn't have to be part of the evidence before a question can be asked on it. What are we talking about? Obi, yeah. Petition, you want. What to assume? Look in upon them, don't not to assume. What to assume? Long time ago.
If Ochena, after all the arguments, a court new rule there, the witness of the first respondent should mount the box.
It doesn't make a difference.
The man.
At all.
On Asempa FM.
Mr. Obi, at the heart of the petition is that use 13434 574 unreflect the will of the Ghanaian, because per all the computation that is available, the figures that are there are in dispute. It's the total votes that were cast in the election. That 13434 574 includes spot ballots. Fact. The Supreme Court will use that to make a declaration. Hey.
two other witnesses are.
Supreme Court will use that figure. That includes spot ballots to make a declaration that will be 50%, just because the Electoral Commissioner Ofina no obey.
Can the respondent make an argument there? Petitioner and so two witnesses are working. He should bring them by force or a possible.
No. How? Nobody can compel them to conduct their case in any manner that they want to.
What's the form, Benso? Oh, now saying the petition, no, that's not for 5 witnesses.
Why didn't you say you were going to go?
When you say you want to call 5 minutes.
I'm not saying so.
So tell him. Because the question here
is say no.
In fact, one from with them is about how much evidence.
Okay.
Ordinarily.
I have to join some meeting.
Oh, Baba, Musraw. Me yo bianca bakasa baka fancy by for fancies will any. I do. I'm more. And me feed the creep and go, but I try. Oh, okay. And it's not a good
and then phone.
Obi, Mr. Mahama, ordinarily, nkono no be evidence. Ewa, and no witness will corroborate. No evidence a one man. But to elected there or rely on the petition.
Okay. Asempa FM.
Same way, the electoral commissioner and any other party can rely
on their response to the
purely
petition.
on their responses.
Okay.
Pure.
Okay.
Obi.
And Baba said,
it's a question of compulsion. That's not a right.
Obi. Me, I said, no. Me better repeat. Yes, and repeat. I was saying, you know, criteria and say, or chance in the answer, like I said, about tofa. Ni hunu ni ekujina so I say hunu. And I was seeing a chance or china be legal arguments. No. Na the Supreme Court ma rule ni hunu say ma me no oba
na say omba.
Me no me kajina ni oma kan na so say womma oma adakanum. And MPP forms di eche on some Dimika, Dijaneo, and who was some make. But whatever it is, or China never cast because the GD money. Your first baby, a seminar could only say, case before Supreme Court. We do baby, I will cast over to cross Supreme Court markets all man can withdraw. So, Monsieur, case do baby, Supreme Court baby, we need to come out with a ruling. Obet my sir. So, Monsieur, and no bet market has been considered okay. As I say, we need to, and then Miss me with the force. So, Monsieur,
sometimes no, I woman a little candid with the end presentation because strictly apart from them instances where the original jurisdiction of the court is invoked in constitutional matters, the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is also there. And so you need to be clear which types of cases that people can even attempt to withdraw for the Supreme Court to say that look, the mayor drew no, more and withdraw. It's important.
It's
very important. Yes.
And the veteran, and Marawi, Marawi, never to announce them to come running Mobi at The most important thing to make my case is that there are some cases that when it gets to somewhere, even Supreme Court bet market on my own withdraw. It's just a matter that I've just stated. And I remember, since a fact, no, if you want details of it, maybe we'll have another forum to discuss the details of it. And I remember, but what I've stated is a fact. And here, and in the Americans, I don't want to even go on this issue again. What I'm saying, and I insist and say, I will be very disappointed, say, electoral commission because of Oma Adakan. So admire because it will give Ghanaian the opportunity. Some be who near a course. None some be can go electoral commission. So, a big grand park where a beam crafters a be a big grand a buseramuka and Nina. So, I think that we know my electoral commission opportunity. No, so bad day, it be Yinano, my assembly near day, a down. So, me as if I speak as a Ghanaian, I'll feel as a I'm very disappointed as my man to me and my Adakanma. But me speaking as NDC, I'm speaking as NDC, and the meeting cases should just say we are Supreme Court a lot of bases are. So say and Supreme Court a bit made so a bit sense memory. Ya man so be case I was improve be. Because improve
the call for a runoff.
Improve
the need for a runoff between the two.
The need of runoff would depend on the true calculations of what Jimensa did. You have to know that we are challenging the conduct of Jimensa. If you read our petition, if you read our decision, you see that you're challenging the conduct. You're leading to the declaration. You are pleading. So say about the course of action, how the thing followed, what she did, everything will come into play. So I must say, and it's okay to say to me improve your case. Now, if we are questioning her conduct, need me who say even at a point we used to summary sheet in the buy at a point. There was a wrong form that was used in the declaration. At the front, there were corrections in the listener. Now, because it is not proof of our case. I leave it to the judgment of the people. Oh, I'm from Gathadrian, because made them feel say so far in some appear and someone here in Yano. Because you see, yes, I said, Jim Mensa and Jumaye. Yet in fact, won't be bring so to yes, you do on one got an improve one. One of the major crowds say, first, no man focus. A letter of French and Catherine and Tramo. One of them free ho, one of me is what must say. And so now better this and across the road you go office. Or got on one agent's on train, and more money tigra.
Ekosiisen on a simple.
So what must say? And it's a road to sound no share no. I didn't know Mamma no. So that is, and you think this is not a prima facie case for some response to be elicited from the electoral commission? When you are so about the electoral commission being no news and no question no small and one small. And then the crown so say electoral commission because mesa bizase me mami ye no mfa no ntwato say some men no ka se onkore and rojo ya no say they saw anomality ne bebre na enko yi report man hu some errors may be correcting with them ho catch no hu bebre na maame na ka so we because it was a basis to have some sort of peace meeting. Peace council, no when we now, so it was a basis for it. Now, we say we know it doesn't find any, it doesn't merit a response from the electoral commission, and that you have not proved your case on that. Meaning, what we say is, let the public judge. I am sure. So after tomorrow, no, we will see the direction of this court, of this case,
of this particular case.
Yes,
Mate, la mesa anything final na yem fancy me pacho.
Obi, Obi ni na ejina.
Ochinewa.
Ni na ochina. Ozande ewudende Chief Justice Owone Marietta Brew appear upon and onye yawo upon so
Yeah.
With respect to comments and in the words of the CJ, twisting of facts be a oyokodo after court proceedings. Fortunately or unfortunately, public education, so you can't take it out.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, as some were quarter, then some canoe or the essence on your home. But you are confronted with the situation, being a Baba Jaman or any Padisi was started electoral commissioner. So you are compelled to speak. And the say, assembly Yakan is Bunko judges, yes, Raman. Nah,
So are we to understand that Rojo was instructed at a tea party in court by court, she who must be obeyed?
Can you imagine?
Wow, Ghana. Baba, wadam for Malik.
Omo manu tea, omo manu
Biscuit in Ghana.
Tea biscuit ni o try 2 hours omo manu tea biscuit.
Significantly,
Yeah.
that may hear public education. Our are some edible cocoa tibiano. Can no hunde or yawu asuzi asezi. The I won't able prove was some.
But I say in the civil
Criminal
trial,
cases, they
on your proof beyond reasonable doubt.
oh yeah, preponderance of the probability.
Preponderance of-
But on the ground,
preponderance in and was so
oh, and chess say I adduce sufficient evidence. Now say I convince the trial of fact.
Yes.
Now say wo opponent or say oh no on adduce evidence in rebuttal. None of bancha.
Yeah.
But wo opponent so Osha Samaka evidence that to court ready. Now we take a decision there. The master me party menke ya no kra onyaza made for. That's exactly what is happening before the court in the Supreme Court judges on them. Eje chachushi kata. Mpe ni pa. Nen sama wa kanenti o say one be legal arguments or china. Legal arguments na anje dey bia umbra no mbaka umbra no moche in circumstances like this. So no argue and I support with cases court no waba apa waka ho asam na Supreme Court will make a determination. Whatever it is no double mark and ashas now I'm convinced the petition party at the heart of it or your computation which figure nor represent the will of the Ghanaian people based on which the declaration was made. And if say petitioners no went to and demonstrate to the court the electoral commissioner in her declaration no computation all year in terms of percentages no or you see 13,434,574. The case is dead. Azmaza. So well sit. This case is dead. Osande Dama Mr. Sedun Katiana Kasa admitted in cross examination. Say use the actual figure of 13,112,111 now. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won the election by a mile. In fact, apart from President Rawlings, no president has garnered the number of votes Nana Akufo-Addo garnered during their second term. Any NDC crown put the one win election be with more than 51% now. Even the figure that they say is erroneous by 1,650, the difference. No criteria calculation now. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won the election by a mile. Take the petition what
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Basis ADG and the other kind.
Lawyer Andrew Ejapa Mesa and yetene kan Ekosiisen so ni Asempa FM enti mo nhyɛ ne nso man